You know what? Not much to say to start off other than my goodness. The Sunday, Bloody Sunday we've been waiting for. That was a cheers, by the way. Not me just awkwardly pointing to Bloody Mary at the camera. Sunday, Bloody Sunday here on the ESPN College Football YouTube channel. I am Matt Barrie. Okay. Let me see if I can just get this out there immediately for a lesson to be learned from you, the beautiful viewer of college football here on the ESPN College Football YouTube channel. It's Sunday, Bloody Sunday. One of my pet peeves in sports, one of my pet peeves in college football. We should know this by now, people. When you look at a schedule and when you look at a slate and you say, oh, it's weak, it's not going to be a good week, the games aren't that good. How many times have we tried to counsel you that those are the week things go down? Those are the weeks where you see absolute chaos. And we saw it yesterday in a form that there are a few that I didn't even think were possible. And in fact, it's the first time 5 teams in the AP Top 11 go down in a weekend since 2016. It was a rarity we hadn't seen in 8 years, and it's absolutely incredible what college football is like right now. So first of all, cheers to the sport. We wondered what transfer portal and NIL and everything would do to the game. There's good, there's bad, there's unevenness. But what there is now, because of those two evil necessities, is parity. The really bad teams aren't bad anymore because there's a player like Diego Pavia, Vanderbilt quarterback, that wants to play somewhere. And the teams that aren't as dominant anymore because a player like Caleb Downs, who Alabama could use more than anyone on defense, transferred to Ohio State because he wanted out. That was unthinkable years ago that someone would go to Vanderbilt to play and leave Alabama not to play. And that's the culmination of what we saw yesterday. Part one, cheers to the Vanderbilt Commodores. First time in program history, they get a top 5 win, which obviously in this case includes number 1. Snap the 23-game losing streak to Alabama and completely throw college football on its axis. There was no way Alabama, who just had a huge win against Georgia the week before, and I got in here and said that gave Alabama fans closure on the Nick Saban era. There's no way in the world that Alabama was going to go from Georgia to Vanderbilt and lose. None, zero, zilch. Until Clark Lee, who's been preaching this over and over and over again, that Vanderbilt is going to win. It's going to have a winning culture. And we're like, okay. He even said a couple of years ago, the SEC championship goes through Nashville. We all choked on our Bloody Marys. Look, what the hell is he talking about? Well, they may not be an SEC championship team, but they're a competitive team that no one wants to play anymore. Think about this. I sit next to Dan Mullen every week, talk to a lot of people around college football, and we're saying, oh, this team, that's the one you want to get the win. The SEC didn't have many of those. Vanderbilt was that team. And now not only is Vanderbilt appear not to be that team anymore, they just took down the number 1 team in the country. And it's kind of a jumping off point for the rest of the season and the rest of the day, that there is zero chance week in and week out that college football has a layup anymore. Because of what we saw yesterday, cheers to the Vanderbilt Commodores. That goalpost is still somewhere in a body of water near Broadway in Nashville. And I just can't comprehend how you go from the top of the league in Georgia, which is the standard right now, to Vanderbilt, which has historically been the doormat. And that is really going to be the impetus for a season where we might not know anything that's going to happen. Here's what I'll tell you. Let's go that route first. Alabama goes down to Vanderbilt. Unbelievable. So there, doors open. Tennessee, here you go. Walk through. Leave Saturday as the preeminent team in the SEC. You got Arkansas at Fayetteville. They tend to give them trouble, but it's okay. Nico Iamaleava. Tennessee's playing defense. Arkansas struggles offensively. You're good. Maybe you'll shoot up to number 1 this week. Nope. Sam Pittman in Arkansas at home, backup quarterback at the end, beats Tennessee. Cheers, whoop, pig, suey. That was unthinkable. Taylor Green goes down. Josh Heupel and the offense has been doing whatever they wanted, how they wanted all season. Not last night. Well, why is that? Because now that's college football. That's what we're dealing with now. All you have to do is watch the Arkansas blueprint which they were able to slow down the tempo of Tennessee, which is what they pride themselves on. Get up, big play, line, go. Arkansas slowed it down. They weren't able to get Nico going. Dylan Sampson had a couple of runs. It was 14-3 at one point. And you're thinking, oh, here we go. Here goes Tennessee. Nope. Arkansas found a way to win at home. And so if you're keeping track at home, number 1 goes down, Alabama. Number 4 goes down, Tennessee. And then we go to noon. And everybody wanted to know, who's Missouri? What are they capable of? Are they a real team? Was their schedule going to hold them back? The answer is yes, no, yes, maybe. Who the hell knows? Why? College football. Cheers, Mike Elko, first-year head coach at Texas A&M. If you watch this show, watch Sunday Bloody Sunday. If you watch the Matt Barrie Show presented by Allstate, when Paul Feinbaum and I catch up, you know Jimbo Fisher had prominent placement on this program last year. Well, Jimbo Fisher's getting paid a lot of money to watch TV. Mike Elko comes in, provides some discipline. Texas A&M's 5-1, but the story, number 25, upsets number 9. How and why? Well, number 1, he preached defense. He shut down Luther Burden, Brady Cook, Nate Noel, Theo Weiss Jr. He went in with a game plan, dig Mike Elko, and said, that's what we're going to do. Le'Veon Moss ran all over Missouri defense. They couldn't stop him. It was physical versus Missouri, and physical won. And so now we're sitting there scratching our heads. Well, what the hell's wrong with Missouri? Well, what the hell was wrong with Ole Miss a week ago? When they lose to Kentucky, what's going on with all these playoff teams? College football. Cheers. Why is that? Parody is happening right before our eyes. So if you're keeping track on this lesson of Sunday Bloody Sunday, 1, 4, 9. Well, let's go to the 10th ranked team in the country. What are they up to? How are they playing along? Well, here's the deal. It's a time and a place where you just don't know what is going to happen. So 1, 4 goes down, 1 goes down, 4 goes down, 9 goes down. What about number 10, who seemed to found something? Michigan. They got to go to the Pacific Northwest. Why? Well, because it makes all the sense in the world that a Big Ten game would be in Seattle. Makes all the sense in the world. No, it doesn't. Michigan went to 3 quarterbacks. They've gone to 3 quarterbacks already this year. Alex Orji really can't throw the ball and effective. Tuttle comes in. Jed Fish, depleted roster. Michigan, again, has a little swagger about him. Nope. On the road, Big Ten game. Number 10 goes down. Cheers to Washington, the unranked team beating a top 10 team. You get the theme here. USC, Big Ten team, ranked 11th, on the road in Minnesota. USC, a trendy team after what they did to LSU in week 1. They're hard fought. They lost at Michigan. It's okay. You'll get it back going. You still have a lot of talent until you go row the damn boat. And PJ Fleck, one of the gutsiest calls I've ever seen, under a minute, 4th and goal, kick the field goal, win. You get stopped. You go to overtime. You blow a win. Not the case. So number 11, on the road. You're keeping track at home. That's 1, 4, 9, 10, 11, all lost. And then we're sitting there 2:30 in the morning. I think Miami's going down, number 8. Everyone else is. What's the theme? Conference game that makes no sense up in Cal. And you think they're going to lose. They were getting beat down. They were down by 25, I believe, at one point. And then little by little, Miami saved the day. So cheers, by the way, to Miami. Because on a day where everyone was getting picked off, you managed to survive. I'll leave you with this on Sunday Bloody Sunday, as a lot of fan bases, at least those 5 in the top 11. I'm going to leave you with this. A year ago, we'd be sitting here chugging our Bloody Marys, saying, God, you know what? My team season's over. It's done. It's lost. It's all gone. Here's where you're saved. Not once on College Football Final last night did we talk about playoff impact. Why? Because the 12-team playoff has allowed everyone a mistake. Now, for the crowd that said this was bad for the regular season, you have a little bit of merit to stand on, because, yes, Alabama can lose to Vanderbilt, still get to the SEC championship, still get to the college football playoff, or lose to Vanderbilt, somehow miss out on the SEC championship, but still get an at-large bid. So for that crowd, you're right. Maybe it does take a little bit off, other than the entertainment value of what we saw yesterday. But big picture, there's a shift in college football, and we're seeing it this morning, that teams now have an opportunity to win no matter what the ranking is attached to the team on the side, no matter what the tradition is of the program you're playing against. It is a game. It is a sport. It is a beautiful thing that's changing right in front of our eyes. And because of it, just get used to it, people. We're going to need to have about 17 more Bloody Marys because this thing is going to be chaotic. May I remind you, that was the first weekend in October, and we have a whole half season left to go. So cheers to everyone out there. Sunday, Bloody Sunday. If your team sprung the upset, congratulations. Go have some kegs, eggs, biscuits, and breakfast. If your team lost, sleep it off. It's okay. There's another week of college football. This is another edition. Cheers. Sunday, Bloody Sunday here on the ESPN College Football YouTube channel.